Excelsior, a poem in 9 parts. Preface, musings on a lighthouse by an eastern isle, suggested by a painting by Mario Larinaga. It is bright tonight, this plain displaced from place, in time's broad flight yields nothing to the strains of there no marbled hand unstrafed by rains, or gales retraced through past days' shaded waste. Great things may fall through all life's vagrant seas, drift things so small we pass them as we fly, yet a man may have no memories of these. Things carved against doom's deep shall last yet die. What listless whispers from the winds are these, that lead thoughts prior to pass of fortune's page? All death's a dream that fades upon the stage, that raised strayed sails to strange eternities. Beneath the reefs of green and eastern skies, that wheeled through fields of liquid emerald, your range of years white watcher of the world, perennial as the fires that marked your rise, had outfaced an age your pale palladium. To those who tamed the treason of the seas, awaits no voice of times now but the thrum of waves cast far from strands and galaxies. In lampless lands where sunlight never glides, your eye gone out, what man may mourn you now? No guiding height by weightless wain or plough, no land-bound star and temptress to the tides. Now hushed beneath the breezes and the bays, now shut from all the seasons touched by sun, your plinth sight through its hepastadion could not forestall your fall. Your starboard rays had reached at length your fatal yield of years. The spells that stars cast pass but won't reverse. Had a shape been traced in space that sigilled tears, that had passed across the looming universe? For prophets' tongues, they seem to live their press, the currents that succumb or beat their breasts, past lightless realms where suns are rocked to rest, that rise to leave your shipless wilderness. Faint Pharos, shall men ring your name once more, or praise the safeguard of light's beaten breath? Some things it seems are only born for death. You seemed as ageless as your salt-lipped shore. What bronze-thewed youth for white-haired wanderer, from lands unguided now through floodlit seas, rides by raftered strands to Alexandria? Over windless ways no steep sun seeks or sees, detained past hope and range of loss and rage, corrode to pumice stone and turn from sight. O voiceless watcher once through lanes of light, on night-bound paths to narrowed straits of age. 1. Brunel on the beach. Wo beauty, men say, lives in the beholder's eyes, in the eye of which an only child was beauty, without her playmates mingled in our annexed size, whose nature's multiform wo universal, both as deep as skin but wielded forth through bones and flesh to grace all men's eternal temporal, so that every sweetness dies and leaves its mirrors far across the visors of remembranced this. Beauty rives for all men, I wish I was the eye. The thing I have striven for I wish was beauty. This ship which I have worked on for so many years, that I grow tired of the sands in passage, has become my beauty, though not beautiful, as her whose limbs slip like the curves of psalms across their scented bust-tressed love, old David's temporal, as it becomes my own in age that nourished her I know what I decay beside sterile perfections, in the metal destinies that outdistance either. These limp cages peered from, wo the flesh is cleft. And I, Brunel, what then is left of me? My name's worth something, O Great Western Railway, propeller-driven transatlantic ship, steam-driven, route passed off from Marlborough Downs, Excelsior, a word I know falls ever short of breathing. What is this worth, you sandal-clodded float? I wish that God was friend as well as sculptor. I, Brunel, what then is left of me? Come swiftly to me now, I am afloat. O brazen age, I am beaten by gigantic pinions. The Arants diminished under glass dominions, whose wingspans locked, but I am bare below. Come swiftly to me, I am cast afloat. The moltenness of future, you reveal yourselves, however ghosts, and point my shoes down silions, towards the wraiths we touch as futures. Come once more, darlings and daughters of posterity, drifting into the abyssic fray. We are trapped once more into doldrums. My creditors who mock me here below, I am afloat, are looking for a sacrificial goat and scrabbling for a lamb to drag apart into the shambles. For a strangled pittance you will become my pittancers. Culture has become fostered by the hands of unskilled butchers, shreds cut off from gilded meat, who milk the lotus where all ashes are. And I, Brunel, what then is left of me? My name worth something? O Great Western Railway, the prayers we make buckle at their birth and slip, like mine, from hill, wind-battened heath and downs. The hail flecks flail, and there is short of breathing. Then sundrops fall, but prayers are cast afloat. And I never asked once to be God the sculptor, but I must thank the odds for what is left of me. Well, beauty is in the beholder's eye. It bequeaths itself in turn to all beholders. My ship is stranded on the sun-drowned sands, but I remember once I was called Isambard, instead of Brunel, which is what I will be known by. Brunel, the shining right and king of folly, the daedalus your dyes depreciate, and sun whose wings char in the fowler's eye. Mark men as being mad, but we exist for folly. It is only being thus you mark your highs, your part. Lord, if you'd look kindly on my heart, what heart could also translate to the soul? Ring your beams to fracture me and make me whole. My wings are clipped by your munificence. Strange ways there are, but I would make them stark, so that I'd walk the way of you and seek you whole. My wooden boats are barks but disembark, to wooden courts but teach them ecstasy. Lift up their sails to starboard in your skies. Your eyes are diamonds that outshine the lights. Reach to my own, pour temper over me. I am your map, yet float no island free. Against a landscape I inhabit less, as does my inland neighbour fly or flee, but pour through me as does the rain's bow lower, and separate me from this tiny death. My consciousness enjams with every breath that gilds my puny vault and teacheth me, for I am made up of your many cores, and present men by mercy champion your free. 2. By Coalport. Your hair streams minarets across a bridge. The bridge you turn to 7 hours to sunset, and it cups with gold that pirouettes your fingers into lilies for me, or strange chlorophylls that turn from what their seeking mistress harbours in a sentence for them they won't supplicate. They are not fingers that can love where sun, hermaphroditic drop and waterfall, Blake Heathens will bring to blast our parks and bays. You were its hidden love and worship once, and will be always if my eyes will shy from visions of her wrecked against all meadows, like all soft presents that futurities uproot like hair that glides against the glass, and convex derricks of the arch and sky we cannot see through far beyond the blueness that both swaths and blanks the bare meridians. My fingers cling against her thighs and pass to pastured heart fleets that her sighs unclasp. The stay the sands that swam and are our neighbours, are draughts that perish in their motes and glance. Mortality stretched out to a boundless moment, the paired flesh replica of violet masks, at twilight, tower of its own fixed convex, bow that torches past the mire of chance, and the registers of space to limit nowness, the temporal become the monumental, as the stream peers minnow lights beyond our bridge. De-swift yourself across my limbs I cross to touch the twins of them in arms that chance to switch their marbles in the chatelled shadows as my own enclose them in their sparrowfall. There is a statue that your own part stands to, fixed or gliding the here or there in absent part, as the motes that stem in hair and harvest stammered an eternal end beneath the parrot day. Your hair streams minarets across a bridge, the bridge you turn to 7 hours to sunset, and it cups the gold that pirouettes your fingers into parrots for me of strange waterfalls, that turn from what their seeking mistress harbours, in they sentence for them they won't supplicate. They are not fingers that can love their son, hermaphroditic flood of marigold, Black Iains will bring to blast our paths and days. Beyond this static length of Sussex bank, a mile from all the sleeping stoves of stony Coalport, they once lit up when men could still see stars, where hills of cinders like a lighthouse prism refracted outwards on night-frozen char. Beyond the river, past the Coalport Bridge, I have a forefather who worked there since the engines are made silent as the gates of fires that passed in granite prisons that we worshipped once. O take my hand, my child, for we are made of cinders, yet of glass we shiver when I cup your star. It is a moving photograph I choose to look at. The sense around of image wheels your nearer neighbours dear. No myrmidons, but mights the blow will break, that stirs these comet tails the Milky Way. The breath of trees bears to their polonaise the arms of dust like pollen moths in crosshatch. The skiffs sail southward to the seas, but you're leaning here away from me, though not posted missing in the moths of days. The sky is blanketed to hours past sunset, with waves of cirrus let their dray delay us. Know your motions, not my own, I break, and stir your trail and grasp with hands that skirmish, receiving no trust from their pasturage. Your touch not dust, but we were caught in crosshatch, with skiffs come southward to the face of the bays, but you were walking there away from me, woe. I count your footsteps in the rosaries of white tipped nightfall in the Shropshire ghost yards. They come alone in pairs and they take photographs, and we have no further need now for the stones and dooryards. Now we take care of all your needs by satellite, where with footsteps fall aslant in the cold roads you glode of, they stand blank by the squeeze box of the keening Evo's court, my feet turn shadowed in my sympathy for stone. I'd also go where all is not a work in progress, for a phantom are no our parts, woes only mourn.